Hello everyone and welcome to my review of Ubuntu MATE 17.10, which is codenamed Artful Aardvark. Now I'm going to cut straight to the chase and skip from this default view of the desktop to show you one amazing feature under the look and feel MATE tweak. The panel, which we have a few different styles available, I'm going to go straight for the Mutiny, which is the Unity-like interface, where if I open up an application, we have such beautiful features as the heads-up display and a global menu. So why did I jump straight to that? Well, Ubuntu itself is no longer using the Unity desktop, so the Mutiny desktop in Ubuntu MATE provides about the best experience you can get to replicate the Unity desktop. I know it's not 100% accurate here because the menu is a little bit different, but some of the functionality is here. Well, it searches for applications. For example, searching for Kaha File Manager, then I can select it from here. And yep, open it up. Oh, just one of these features that's here, the ability to change the folder colour. But yeah, that one's been around a while, but I thought I would show that off right now. So let's take a step back a bit and show you some of these other panel layouts. So they have been renamed slightly, contemporary and traditional. What used to be the Fedora and MATE default layouts. I think it was Fedora anyway, I do apologise if I got that one wrong. So yes, changing layout will reset any customizations that you've made. So contemporary. This is similar to the GNOME Classic but with the brisk menu instead of the default MATE menu. You'll notice the heads-up display also works on this desktop. It doesn't work on all of them. So Cupertino is like the Apple style interface. So yeah, I've got the application launcher there, the brisk menu, and there is a launcher at the bottom of the screen. Mutiny is like the Unity style interface. Netbook, it's just a more condensed down version, so you only have one panel with the traditional menu. Pantheon, well, kind of as the name states, like the Pantheon desktop from Elementary OS. Redmond is kind of like an older Windows desktop. But anyway, back to the one I like, the Mutiny style layout. So quite a bit of flexibility with Ubuntu MATE. You can easily change the placement of the close, minimize, maximize button from left or right. And the software compositor, so yeah, going for software compositing or GPU compositing with Compiz. Well, next feature I really like about distribution is the welcome screen. So you've got a few quick shortcuts here. So an introduction about the operating system. Some of the features of it, pre-configured yet flexible, yes. Built-in security, yes. And yeah, quite a few other things here. Okay, oh, and yes, you can get some games from Steam. Links to community, so that's forums, social networks, IRC. Links to the software boutique, which is a kind of more simplified application store. It does mention here, if you can't find what you're looking for, install one of the software centres to explore the complete Ubuntu software catalogue. But just to give you a quick overview of this, you can select from different categories. Actually, it's more of a category selection, and you can just scroll down and think, oh, do I fancy, in this case, convert all? Sounds interesting, what is it? Category calculator from the Ubuntu repository, got a little screenshot, and I can install it. Bulk queue, apply changes, enter my sudo password, and the install takes place. And we even got a little pop-up on the top right hand side. Very nice, very nice. Opening up the terminal, I can check the kernel version, which is 4.13.0. And in terms of memory usage, we've got 563 meg of RAM. Okay, perhaps not an entirely fair test because I've done a couple of things on the system, but it's still relatively low. That covers most of the features of the desktop. I've got a few different themes available, but most of them do go for the green style, which I know some people don't necessarily like. A few different backgrounds available. A default font selection is Ubuntu. On this view of the Mutiny desktop, we do have the time and date and link to a calendar on the top right hand side, and yes, I'm recording this in review a few days early. Then we've got the shutdown menu and about this computer. So this is the MATE desktop version 1.18.0. The sound menu and network menu. You've already seen the file manager, which is Kaha, which is very reminiscent of the old version of Nautilus. There's also a desktop switcher and shortcut to the trash can, or waste basket, or rubbish bin, or whatever you would like to call it. In terms of pre-installed applications, well, I installed ConvertAll earlier as you saw. I think that Redshift is a new install, so colour temperature adjustment tool. So you can reduce the blue light and increase the red light sort of more towards night to help you get to sleep, is the theory of it. And yeah, I do find it quite a useful feature on my Android phone in low light environments. Other than that, those accessories seem fair and reasonable. Administration, yeah, nothing too special there. Education, nothing. Graphics, yeah, it's nothing much. Internet, so we've got Firefox for default browser, Thunderbird for email client, and Transmission torrent client. We have the partial suite of LibreOffice, that's missing a LibreOffice base. Preferences, yeah, a few different preferences here, more like system tools. Sound and video, so we have Rhythmbox for the audio player and VLC for the media player. System tools, yeah, nothing too special there. Anyway, control center, so we do have a little searcher here for pinpointing various sections of the menu. So if I was after, say, screen, okay, it's gone for screensaver, let's call it something different instead, yeah, display, and displays. I'll point out that there's been work carried out in the background for getting MATE working on high definition displays with the scaling. I don't think it has any direct settings you can change, but some of the settings are present in the operating system, so with a bit of messing around in the config you could make changes to the scaling. I think perhaps on the long-term support release of Ubuntu MATE, so that would be 18.04, we may see further improvements, but certainly on the focus of 17.10 it does appear to have been more towards the desktop and hopefully sorting out some of these crashes. But yeah, we had a crash and I never even realised. But I have to say, any issues I've seen here on the Mutiny desktop have been way below what was on the 17.04 release of Ubuntu MATE. So all in all, I have to say this is one excellent release and a worthy successor to the Unity desktop. So is it worth upgrading from Ubuntu MATE 17.04? Yeah, I think stability has improved somewhat. Certainly on the Mutiny desktop. The other desktops didn't seem so bad, so maybe you won't necessarily notice such an improvement there. Is it worth upgrading from Ubuntu 17.04 to this? Well, actually I would say yes, that's a fair upgrade. It is a bit more of a classic styling compared to what Unity was, but it does have most of the features. It does have the search on the applications, you can have global menus, and you do have the heads-up display. And this heads-up display works in both Qt and GTK applications. So yeah, it's, well, the best going now. So yes, I'm definitely happy with Ubuntu MATE. I'm not quite sure I'm ready to abandon the KDE desktop just yet though. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.